Hello friends, it's Chaz. I know it's been a while, a hot minute, but that's how I roll. And like usual, a lot has happened, and a lot has changed, and a lot has not changed. But we're gonna start something simple, and I'm gonna do something I haven't done before, which is a reaction video to the top 10 worst neighborhoods in Fort Myers, which is my hood, aka my home. I started watching the video. The reaction video is actually my cousin. Um, Her name is G Baby. Check her out. Also, Gario, I Rock Amazing. We grew up together. Cousin. What can I say? I've known her my whole entire life. A lot of these neighborhoods we lived together, played in together as well. So it's a lot of fun. So I started watching the video. I didn't finish it. I'm going to finish it today. And then just talk about my neighborhood. A lot of people in DC know I'm from Florida, but they don't exactly know what part of Florida I'm from or what it looked like or my things, life there. So this like a little snapshot kind of into my hometown. And yeah, you could maybe some funny stories, things like that as well. It's also laundry day, which is why there are literally like 10 white pillows empty, so don't mind that. I got my do-rag on, robe, he keeping it low key. So, okay, let's get into it.
Somebody did the top 10 worst neighborhoods in my hometown, Fort Myers.
Yeah, oh, John Walker's. That's where my mom lives, actually. That's actually really funny, like the first 30 seconds of the video.
I'm gonna give my opinion on what he's saying.
These are the top 10 neighborhoods you probably don't want to move into unless you can afford something better. So we're going to look at the Fort Myers area. These are the neighborhoods that are the most notorious, have the most crime. When you turn on the Wink News,
that's St. Colors Park.
These are the neighborhoods that are on the news.
Not Wink News.
We're not using statistics.
Not Wink News.
We're not using any other
Wink News.
other than the fact
News anchor actually was a slut.
and we know these neighborhoods are straight up the hood dog. So
That's on. He's not even showing the hood. This is not. This isn't considered the hood part.
Then this video is
That's.
for you.
See, that's the hood.
Fort Myers area is one of the fastest growing places in the country, so these places could definitely get better in the future.
Because of white money.
Number 10 is San Carlos Park, which is actually a Fort Myers address. Just like the residents
That's like really
of San
Bonito
Carlos
Springs
Park
area,
have not
actually,
got their
Fort
crap together in
Myers.
life yet, neither have the city of San Carlos Park, because
It's right
no
next to
city, it's
FGCU.
just a place. On the day that we recorded there, apparently a large crime scene had taken place.
That's normal.
This place is not really known for crime. It's really a place
That's
that was
not
actually
true.
quite decent like many years ago, but because of student housing and because of people just using it as a commuter place, it's really kind of gone downhill, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. Surprisingly, an empty lot in San Carlos Park is still going for something like $100,000, which makes absolutely no sense, because you can buy a decent lot in a better area for like a quarter of that price. So it doesn't really make sense. It's just a place for students to live.
I don't know anything about that
Number
place.
9 is Pine
I spent a lot of time there in
Manor,
college.
known to the locals as Crime Manor. This place has gangs, shootings, parties, homies, all this.
He said homies?
If you really want to dive into the hood life, then Pine Manor, aka Crime Manor on the south side.
Crime Manor. I have not spent a lot of time in Crime Manor, mostly because I didn't live there.
San Carlos Park barely made the list, but Pine Manor was definitely going to be on
It's
this
definitely known as
list.
Crime
It
Manor,
is
though. That is a very
diverse
true
neighborhood
fact.
with all types of crime. There are many multi-unit housing, and there are a few homes, but for the most part, this is a rental area with very little home ownership and lots of gun ownership.
There's lots of gun ownership.
South Fort Myers,
You in Fort Myers, Florida.
may
There's
have
gun
driven through
ownership
there on
everywhere.
and by accident ended up back there and been like, what the crap is this, an entire mariachi band on a Thursday? Man, that moonshine I picked up in Tennessee is no joke. Got me on a roll.
I'm not sure what's
Number 8
happening.
is Tice, located in the city of Fort Myers.
So,
Tice is actually its own city.
Funny story, I actually lived off Tice, off Washington Avenue. Ironically, in 6th grade for about 3 or 4 months or so. We used to go to a place called Red Bones. Well, I'm sorry. My mom used to go to a place called Red Bones. I used to have my black ass at home. My two brothers. Um, yeah,
But people refer to anything off of Palm Beach Boulevard as Tice.
yeah. It was
It's
up
all
Palm Beach
mixed
Boulevard.
in there. This part of Fort Myers off
That
of
China
Palm Beach
buffet.
Boulevard is absolutely no joke.
How is he
Well,
calling
it's not really a city. It's more like a census
a city
designated
within a
place.
city a
The
city?
census has designated
It's just a
a
neighborhood.
place.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Gee,
we
it's
go out
definitely
here
just a
on the
neighborhood.
weekends to get tacos from
Red
food trucks.
Bones.
There's
I
a
used to
lot
live
of
right down that street
businesses
in a
who
White
like to go
House.
there for Cuban food types of restaurants
It
from
was a
all
mess.
Latin America
It was the
over here.
hood.
So it's a lot of activity, and it's getting to be safe
At one
enough
point, my mom
where you can
spray
actually
painted
go
the
during
windows
weekends.
blue.
Sometimes the cops are going to be at the
All of
taco
them.
shops to stay the busiest. So it's getting better, but it's still a part of Fort
It's
Myers.
always a Mexican
Definitely don't
getting hit
want to
by a
end
car
up in
over
if
there.
you can
No
afford
lie.
better.
I seen it happen.
Moving on to number 7, Dunbar. Now you're probably thinking, wasn't Dunbar the worst place in Fort Myers? Many years ago it was.
Yep.
And Dunbar also includes Franklin Park, Lincoln Park,
That's
and a few
so.
other
I
communities
lived
that are
in
kind of
Dunbar.
adjacent to it, and most people just
I grew up in Dunbar off Thomas Street and off a few other streets. Sable Palm, Michigan Court, Palmetto Court. Uh, yeah. So I moved around with my family, my mom, and Thomas Street was where we stayed most of our time. It was wild.
The school? Franklin Park?
My wife went to Dunbar.
My brother went to Franklin Park.
So we're kind of
It's
from
not a neighborhood,
area.
that's a
I've worked
school.
in this area a lot. I've
It's
never
not
had a
called
problem
Franklin
here.
Park, the area.
While it is the highest
It's called
crime rate
Dunbar.
here in the city many years back, a lot of gentrification is going
It
on.
is.
A lot of
And it
investment is
was.
going on, and it's really changing.
I haven't
for the
been
better.
back in 5
He's
years.
not from here the way he's
Was the
talking
worst
about it.
part of Southwest Florida by far. It
I think
seems
he lives
it's
in
moving
Naples
the
or
right
Estero.
direction. There's a lot of investment going in. A lot of people are being pushed out, unfortunately. That's driving up the real estate prices.
That's where I'm
It
over.
seems like it's going in the right direction.
Gentrification.
So Dunbar is no longer the worst place in Southwest Florida. Many years ago, it was for sure. Moving
That's-
on to number 6,
Wow.
East Fort Myers. Now, this
That's
area
right next to Palm
encompasses
Beach.
a huge number of neighborhoods from Ortiz to Michigan. All this area, most people here just call it East Fort Myers. It's close to Dunbar, it's close to Tice, and East Fort Myers has always been a bad place. There's a lot of things you could do here. There's the Ortiz flea market. There's also the other flea market, which is kind of more close to Dunbar and Tice. So there's a lot of flea
I used to ride
markets,
my. So when I
a lot of
lived
crime.
in Washington,
This isn't a
we would
very-
ride our
That's
bikes
Dunbar area. What are you talking about?
all
East
through
Fort
here.
Myers. Ain't that the that's the
Um,
projects right there?
older section of the city.
He's not from here.
Oh yeah, my cousin's totally right. This picture right here is not in the right area. This is actually right next to Franklin Park. Like if you go down this street, you run into Franklin Park, and those green buildings there are part of what go into a facility what's called the Stars Complex. And if you go down the Stars Complex, or you go down that street, go north, once you come into Thomas Streets, which was before, which I grew up at. So he don't know where he at, but I know where y'all at.
Really expensive because it's
He's not from here.
Fort Myers. There seems to be a
Because
lot
he's
of
still in the
regulation
Dunbar
rules,
area
even
talking
though
about
there are
East
a lot of
Fort
empty
Myers.
lots,
Yeah.
It's kind of a hassle to
That makes no
live
sense.
here. That's why so much of the growth has shifted away from Fort Myers.
D&D.
to
Oh my God.
Lehigh Acres.
That was like the cornerstone growing up. When I lived in Sable Palm, we would walk when I was a little kid. Well, to 16. We would always go in D&D for like all the good shit. They had hot sauce. Hot sauce is kind of like scrapple, what they call it up north, kind of, except the texture is a little different, and it's like almost like in slices, and it's a little spicy, more or less. Depends where you're from, but I think it's spicy. I actually haven't had it. My mom was a big fan of it. I'm the nigga who don't eat chitlins also, so leave me alone.
Talking about
That's
Lehigh
Dunbar
Acres.
area. That's Dunbar
Number
community. That's
five on the
MLK.
list is the neighborhood of Sunshine. This is in the central south section of Lehigh Acres. There it is.
Oh, Sunshine
Now,
Boulevard.
This area has a high population density, and a lot of people from Dunbar, from East Fort Myers, have moved into this part of
Yeah,
Lehigh Acres.
so
and they brought with them
he is smart to show lots of dirt and off-roading basically, because whenever it rained, you had a Jeep. Somebody always had a Jeep, or somebody had an off-road vehicle. But whenever it rained, it rains every day between like 3 and 5, more or less, some point during the day. But you go get in the cars, jump, and go mudding. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god. So this is also like Lehigh Sunshine Boulevard. That's what we would do. It was so much fun. I did that all throughout middle school and high school. It was so much fun.
All types of gangster crap. Whatever.
What? Gangster crap?
Gangster crap.
Becoming duplexes. There isn't
Call
too
it some
much
hood
single
shit.
family homes. It's mostly duplexes. And a lot of the people that live here are originally from Fort Myers, while the buildings are mostly brand new.
So a lot of he talked about gentrification in Fort Myers. A lot of those people were actually displaced to Lehigh, which increased the actual crime spike in Lehigh. And they actually, what the white people didn't have enough space, so they made more space for them. And yeah.
That's great that people really deserve to have brand new, good, clean housing. A lot of the problems that
There's a lot of land out there, though. There's so much land, but
mostly
yeah.
just shifted into here. Also, there are parts that are single.
Look at that. Is that a trampoline?
But the traffic in and out is terrible. I hate to drive through there. People drive insanely fast. It's just a place.
It's
kind
Florida.
Like
Step on the fucking gas.
Fort Myers, and not where you want to end up. Number 4 is the Triangle. Also in Lehigh Acres, only much worse. This is a triangle that goes around a golf course for some reason. Somehow somebody put a golf course out there.
What is this? Nobody. It is such a white thing.
That is because investors know that people need to live in Fort Myers, and the Triangle is the easiest place to jam all these people that are just a working class of Southwest Florida. The vast majority are duplexes. The area is infamous.
Remember that gentrification I was talking about?
Robberies, a lot of times.
No, he's lying. He's in my mom's neighborhood. There's no crime over there. Absolutely none.
Oh, this is actually, yeah. She's right.
Lots of people just working day, paycheck to paycheck. This is the workforce of Southwest Florida. 90% of these people are hard-working people that deserve our respect. But then there's that 5% that really makes it bad. That's the Triangle in Lehigh Acres. Number 3 is the area of Fort Myers, south of downtown. There's several neighborhoods in here, like Lovejoy Park.
Okay.
The area directly south of Fort Myers is very...
On that map, I used to go to the stadium. That's why I used to go ice skating all the time in Florida. I used to go by myself all the time, from like 6th grade through high school. I met a girl there. Her name was Jasmine. We started dating. With my brother Joseph. That was a wild time.
Bad. Most of the people living here, or a large portion, are the people that are in and out of the criminal system. When they get out, they can't rent a place in Lehigh. They don't have credit. They don't have the credentials. So they end up in here, and there's landlords or maybe even slumlords who target people like that they can rent to for like $1,100 a month, because these people have no other credentials to get a rent. So it's definitely slumlording going on in here. The area is having a lot of transient people, a lot of people who can't stay on their feet for very long. This part of Fort Myers is definitely not the place where you want to put your family. Unless your kids are spoiled.
I know that
like
house.
Snob,
Why you zoom in? That's kind of weird. I hope they're good.
You have definitely some serious issues there you need to work out. Moving on to number 2. It takes us to the beautiful area of North Fort Myers, and we'll stay in this area for the rest of the video. Pomona Park is in North Fort Myers. Now, it's hard to pick which part of North Fort Myers is worse. This area's got a lot of problems.
I know North Fort Myers really well.
It also has a lot of hard-working people, just like anywhere else in Southwest Florida.
I don't know Pomona Park.
The elephant in the room. This area has a lot of problems. Pomona Park in particular is definitely not a neighborhood you want to put your family into unless you're really poor or you really hate them. The neighborhood of Pomona Park has a massive concentration of registered felons, the ones you don't want around your family. It's definitely not.
How do you know it's registered felons there?
In this area, even with today's
real
estate market,
like how do you know?
The homes here kind of sit on the market because people know it's not a place you want to be. A lot of people.
Now, if I remember correctly, which I do because I got a really good memory and it was home, and also the circumstances which I learned about Suncoast Village, was in jail. So hard to forget. But anyways, I'm pretty sure this is coming up on like the Suncoast Village. So if you don't know Suncoast Village is set the Guinness Book of World Records for actually the largest trailer park in the world. So yeah, if you want to make some money, Suncoast Village.
Relocating to Florida from Hurricane Maria ended up in the Fort Myers area, but they were certain to stay out of Pomona Park. It's just that bad. Number one is the Scum Coast Estates. That's what the locals call this place. Officially, it's Suncoast. And
Oh.
while businesses are coming in from Puerto Rico, from Miami, from other parts of the country, people are moving here, starting businesses, and making it better. Once you get deep into the neighborhood of Suncoast, it looks like West Virginia and Alabama had an inbred baby and just threw it there and left it there to its own devices. It's in bad shape, and again, North Fort Myers is seeing a lot of people moving in, buying some of the older homes in the older communities, but they're doing that in concrete block sections of the city and in places that are better off. Once you get into this part here,
He just read the shit out of them
Suncoast
people.
Estates and Pomona Park,
He ain't
it's
wrong,
like
though.
that area is just not going anywhere. And at
So if you never heard of Flocka, I actually learned about Flocka in jail. And Flocka is an actual drug that they make in Suncoast Village. And Flocka is where they take Raid, spray. Well, they take like a wire mesh, hook it up to a car battery, spray Raid onto it, and then jolt it with the battery. Right, little dust and shit will fall off. That dust you smoke. Flocka.
there's always people that live in this
The shit I
neighborhood, and
learned,
they
let me
try
tell
to
you.
defend it when we do videos about it, but we did some statistical analysis. We looked at the biggest concentration of registered offenders in all of Southwest Florida, and they are right here. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not going to sit here and defend a group of people that prey on other people's families. If you want to do that, then that's fine for you. I'm definitely not going to defend that.
I'm not defending them
Everybody
either.
in this neighborhood does that? Absolutely not. But the fact that those people are there means it's a place you don't want to put your family. So
No.
a lot of people are always defending this neighborhood because they're from there. It's
I
obvious
nope,
that the neighborhood
not
has a
defending
huge
that.
problem with addiction and the types of people that are living there because, well, it's
Yeah,
the happiest place. That's where they're going to end up.
It's interesting because being in DC, we have like huge harm reduction services, and I've been a part of them with pathways and hips and things like that. I've done like work with them, and none of that kind of stuff here even like remotely exists, which is wild to me. Yeah, I just find it so wild. Yeah, I just think that maybe eventually we'll get them down there, but not to the capacity because even the way that Florida treats their systems, you can tell they're not gonna put any money and effort towards harm reduction. So either way, yeah, that's just that.
I don't know who that guy is, but he don't know nothing about Fort Myers.
Agreed.
So anybody that seen that video, if you just happen to see my video too, I'm debunking everything this man just said because he honestly knows nothing from Fort Myers. You talking about he's been in Fort Myers for a few years or something like that? I highly doubt it.
No.
I feel like he probably was just visiting for the weekend.
Maybe a year or two.
And just rolled around and seen a lot of low income housing. And you could tell, just looking at a house, an older house.
He's another white person gentrifying the area, going there, seeing stuff, saying how he can make a living off of it by making a YouTube channel and saying, look how worse and terrible this is.
And just put opinions on it. Like, first of all, you can't see how many registered. There's no such thing as looking up the list of registered convicts. Like, you can look up registered sex offenders.
That part.
They ain't registered. Just because you caught a felony, you don't have to register when you leave out there. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe you have to register. You just caught a felony. You do your time, you get out, you're done.
Right.
And unless you had anything that you had to specifically register for. So what is this man talking about?
Yeah. I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway, you should check out the rest of my cousin's video. It's amazing as well. Yeah, that's it. Oh, well, when I tell you I'm from the hood, there's the proof. Like, see, I don't know what else to tell you. So that was done. I am done. It has been a lovely time. I have recorded this video. I will upload it when I can.
Register. Just because you caught a felony, you don't have to register when you leave out there, unless I'm mistaken. I don't believe you have to register. You just caught a felony. You do your time, you get out, you're done. And now, unless you had anything that you had to specifically register for. So what is this man talking about? And honestly, if I was to do my top 10 worst cities, well, not cities, I mean top 10 worst neighborhoods, it wouldn't be any of those, like, except for maybe one. Like, and it would be at the end of the list. Like, it was like the top 3 worst areas in Fort Myers to be in, if you're not from there, was nowhere on his list. So yeah, this guy, he don't know nothing what he's talking about. I feel like he was speaking very ignorant of the people, you know. And many of the neighborhoods, I know, I have family there, I grew up around, I walked around. Neighborhood is actually safe. Yeah, the housing look old is because families have lived there for generations. Like, you know, that they grew up with their grandparents, or the parents probably grew up there, or they grew up with their parents and now they're living there. It's because it's their home, not because they can't afford to go no place else. It's their home. It's paid for. It's theirs. So why should they move to one of these gentrification neighborhoods? He didn't even go into any of the projects. To be honest with you, that's how you know he don't know what he's talking about. He didn't go into not one project in the city of Fort Myers. He didn't go into the projects in the city of North Fort Myers. Like, I don't think it's no projects in Cape Coral, but it is some areas in Cape Coral. You know, like, this guy, he don't know what he's talking about. Like, in the neighborhood, one of the neighborhoods in Lehigh he's talking about, it's literally always quiet out there. You barely see anybody outside until they're going to school or they're just working out or something. Like, he really don't know what he's talking about at all, and he's very ignorant. And I debunked the whole video. The video was trash, ill. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna post a link in here so y'all can go spam this guy. Like, actually no, I'm not, because y'all not gonna boost up his ratings. Like, just the guy, no, take it from someone that's from Fort Myers, that was raised in Fort Myers, that came up since a child in the city of Fort Myers, in the city, the county of Lee County. Like, this man don't know what he's talking about. Honestly, he's real ignorant, and he's just speaking by probably stories that he heard from other people. Like, all his information is wrong. So I was hoping it was gonna be a little better when I seen somebody did this. I thought someone actually took the time and researched, or actually grew up in and they knew what they was talking about. Nope, just another imbecile talking from the outside, acting like he knows what it is, and he don't. So anyway, bump that guy. If you want to move to Fort Myers is now more than ever a more beautiful place. Yep, get your Lehigh, get your house in Lehigh, get your house in Cape Coral, especially Cape Coral got some beautiful houses. I wouldn't worry about anything. You really, like, honestly, if you're not from there, you won't have problems as much. Like, cause I'm gonna say as much, cause you can have problems anywhere you live, anywhere you move in the world, especially America. Like, it's violence everywhere. But when you're not from a place like where I live at now, I'm not from here, I never have any problems. I go to the club when I want to. I come home. I want to go get something to eat, go get gas at night, whatever. I come home, which I usually don't get gas at night because it's just a survival thing. Like, no, woman, I don't need to get gas at night. You feel me? So it's just like, I'm not in a lot of mess. I don't know a lot of people. I'm not in drama. I'm not fighting. I'm not putting myself. I don't know a lot of people to put myself into the drama. That's the only thing. That's where it's at. Honestly, you put yourself in a predicament, and then bad things could possibly happen. But if you don't put yourself in that predicament, 9 times out of 10 bad things won't happen. Unless it's a luck of fate. So, yeah. Bump that guy. I appreciate y'all for watching. I'm pretty sure all of you from my hometown can agree that this guy don't know what the hell he's talking about. Do me a favor, please like, share, subscribe to this video. Please share this video, especially this video, because all y'all can relate. All y'all know what y'all talking about, because we from there. You feel me? So share this video, please, and make sure you tell your friends to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm getting close. I'm in the 200 range now. So the next goal is gonna be 300. So help your girl get up there. I appreciate y'all for watching. Stay amazing, gang.